name's Cathy Garlitz. I'm a transgendered veteran of the United States Navy Submarine Force. And my story is ultimately a success story. It's taken many paths to get to where I am. But I just want to talk about one part of that, and that's just being transgendered. I knew that I was a girl when I was 4 years old, and I had taken my name Cathy about 2 years prior to that from a family friend, and that just was what I chose my name to be. And like I said, I always knew I was just different, and so I went through some pretty challenging things in my life at that time, and I didn't really know what to do. There was no internet back then. There was no, it certainly wasn't being talked about, of being, being transgendered. And I met a lot of resistance from people, and you really find out who your friends are. And when I started to look into this as an adult, it was, after the military, because in the military I had to hide who I was, because back then in the Cold War, the policy was if you were gay or even thought to be, they just booted you out. But when I got out of the service, then I did what I called the dog and pony show. And in that way, what I did was I pretended to be what everyone expected me to be, and on the inside, I was just the real me. And that took an emotional toll as well. But I ended up, when I first started seriously looking into because I knew I had to transition, and I went to the library, and there was like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet of one bookshelf devoted to that subject, and so I had found somewhere a reference to a psychologist that was specialized in trans issues, and so I went to see him, and I found out how difficult it was going to be to get where I wanted to be. And I ended up, I had to realize that I had to be prepared to give up everything. I was making $95,000 a year as a male computer network manager. And I realized that if I chose to do the transition, that I could very well lose that. And when I did do made sure I was going to go that path and made the choices that I did, of course, I lost that job. But I was prepared, because you have to be willing to give up anything to be who you are. And in my case, it was a bittersweet thing, because, I have 2 kids. My daughter has nothing to do with me. I haven't heard or seen from her in 25 years. My son, on the other hand, he's very supportive, and we, continue to talk and stuff like this. But my message is that if you need to be who you are, and if you are going to get where you need to be, you just have to be prepared that you will lose some things, and you'll gain a lot of things. And as a veteran, especially, the VA healthcare system literally saved my life. It opened up so many doors for me. And if you persevere and don't give up on your goal, and you be true to yourself, you'll be happy. And for me, being treated, I looked up that, I'm almost 60 years old, and I transitioned when I was 35. So that's 42 years of being an adult from age 18. And I've lived 60% of that as a female. And to me, that's a real accomplishment. And that makes a success. And even though I've had the entire surgery, I've gone through everything I needed to go, it really wasn't the surgery that was, you know, the icing on the cake. It was actually living the life of being a female, being treated as such, working as, going through the ups and downs of that. That was the real icing on the cake. And the surgery part of it was just, I guess you would call it after validation or something like that. But there's hope, don't give up, and reach out, you know, look out for your resources, and hopefully your life will turn out as good as mine did. How's that?